Hello, third and fourth graders. Welcome to day number 2 of your printmaking bootcamp. Today, you should have a completed printing plate before you begin the printing process. If you're a fourth grader and you put some wet glue on this today, you're going to have to wait until the next time you come to art class in order to print. But if you are a third grader, once you're done carving your styrofoam block, you will be ready to print. The process is pretty much the same for third and fourth grade. However, there are going to be a couple of differences. Obviously, your printing plate's going to be different. Fourth grade did the collagraphs, and the third grade did a relief printmaking using foam. Now, also, the fourth graders will be using paint, tempera paint, while the third graders will be using ink. The paint works a little bit better with collagraphs, and that's what I have right now. So, once you have your collograph finished or your printing plate finished, you're going to grab 2 pieces of paper. This paper is at the printmaking center. It's 6 inches by 9 inches. On both pieces of paper, you should put your name and your class code. So for third grade, put a 3, then your teacher's first initial. If you're in fourth grade, put a 4 and your teacher's first initial. Once your name is on your paper, then you're going to be able to get some ink or paint from Mr. I. You're going to put it on this contraption. There's a whole bunch of these at the printmaking center. It's called a bench hook. This one's black, but there's also some that happen to be gray. Once Mr. I pours out some ink or paint for you, the next item you need is this roller. The roller is called a brayer. It's a technical term for it, and you're just going to go ahead and coat your entire brayer with that ink or with that paint like I have here. So I'm just going to roll it back and forth, cover the whole wheel up. Mine doesn't seem to be turning, but that's all right because once I put it on top of my printing plate, it'll start spreading it around. So get all the edges, top, get the bottom, get the sides. You're going to notice that it doesn't get into all of the low spots, and that's on purpose. Remember, only the high spots print in relief printmaking. You can go off your block a little bit if you want to, just to make sure you covered all the edges. Okay. Once you've covered everything, you're then going to take your printing plate, flip it upside down, and stick it onto your white piece of paper. You can see I have some wet paint here. I'm going to try not to get that in there. Okay? I'm going to try to put that right in the middle. Give that a press on this side. And then I'm going to flip it over, both my paper and my block, and I'm going to rub. When you rub, you're going to want to press fairly hard, not so hard that you're going to rip your paper. I like to rub over the entire thing about 3 times. So I just did it about once, twice, and 3 times. Okay, once I am finished with that, I'm going to peel it up. And I have my picture. So this is one, and the beautiful thing about printing is you can do more than one. So I'm going to ink this back up again, or in this case, I'm going to paint it back up again. And in just a second, you're going to see me print my second one. Okay, so I just covered my piece again with another layer of paint, or if you're in third grade, another layer of ink. Covered the whole printing plate, top and bottom, side to side. And then it's time to print. So let me move my camera over here. Here's my piece of paper. The name's on the back. I'm going to flip that around so I have the blank side. Then you're going to take your printing plate, flip it upside down, try your best to fit it right in the middle, give it a press, and then flip it over one more time, and then give it a rub. 3 is the magic number. Using my fist, pressing pretty firmly. Don't need to press super hard. You don't need to hulk out on this thing. Just hard enough that it's going to push that ink or that paint onto the paper. Okay, so now that I've rubbed it about 3 times, I'm going to peel this up, and I have my picture. Your first picture might end up better than your second picture, or your second picture might end up better than your first picture. That's the beautiful thing about printmaking, is that you get to do this more than once. So I think, actually, I enjoy my first print more, but that's okay. This one turned out pretty good, a little bit better in some other spots. Either way, once you're done with 2 prints, you can put both of your prints on the drying rack. You're going to put your printing plate on the drying rack as well. All of these are wet and need to dry. But if you're not satisfied with your 2 prints, of course you can always print a third until you get one that you want. You might find that you need to put more paint or ink in some other areas to make some spots show up. Maybe you need to rub a little bit harder in some other areas to make those details pop out like you expected them to. Either way, once you have at least 2 prints done and everything's put on the drying rack, you are done for the day. You may place your printing materials, your brayer and your bench hook, in the sink, and I will wash them.